Hey y'all, I hope you guys are doing well. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you are celebrating or not celebrating. I hope you guys are having a merry time. It is Christmas Eve when I'm filming this, but I'm going to be uploading this for like Christmas evening for when people are winding down and just want a little chit chat, a little mommy time, a little girly pop time to talk about fashion stuff, because sometimes it's nice to cool down that way. At least I know I like to do that after all the festivities. So I figured now would be a wonderful time to talk about the Murakami multicolor collection re-release from Louis Vuitton, mainly because this was the collection that really got my eye into fashion. I've talked about it in my Louis Vuitton collection video, which I'll leave linked down below for you guys as well. But this collection is near and dear to my heart, at least the original collection is. So I wanted to show you guys my multicolored collection and just kind of my thoughts on the re-release, and also a little bit of history because that's what I like to do. But before we jump into this, I want to let you guys know it has been forever since I've been on YouTube. My bad, but I am almost way more active on Instagram. I had to take a little downtime because I got sick. However, I'm almost always on Instagram. We are almost 13K strong over on Instagram. We have some great conversations over there, and Instagram pretty much always sees everything first. So if you would like to be more in touch, want to be friends, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button here on YouTube, and then go ahead and jump over to Instagram and we can have a lot more fun conversations over there. And I know this is supposed to be a video on the Murakami collection re-release, but this was just the perfect opportunity to show off my Chanel again. I am a Chanel girly. I'm wearing Chanel on the ears. I love Chanel. Chanel, like, as many problems as the brand has, I'm probably always going to be a Chanel girl. So I wanted to show off my little mermaid bag here. This is a walk. It is made with goat skin. It's an absolutely beautiful bag. I don't wear this bag as much as I would want to, just because with this metallic finish, it's just so delicate, and I'm not kind of as or haphazardly as I used to be. I do want her to be in good condition for as long as possible. So I don't really travel with this piece as much, but I figured a multicolored collection video would be the perfect time to just show off this baby. I should give her a name. I don't have a name for her, but I should give her a name. But companies, especially in hard times where all these companies are seeing just their bottom lines just kind of tank, I feel like they kind of start to turn towards gimmicks to get the consumer's attention again. And what better way to get a consumer's attention, especially those who are collectors, than by giving out limited edition, colorful, eye-catching pieces. And I feel that's what the Murakami collection did, at least for me. Like I said, this was my first real introduction into Louis Vuitton. I remember in high school, it came out in 2013. So I was just turning 13 years old when this came out, and I was just so amazed when I was seeing it. I think I first saw it on like Raven Simone or something like that, but I was just so amazed at seeing these multicolored pieces that my little teenage butt went into the Louis Vuitton store that used to be on Fifth Avenue in Seattle. And Lord knows why they didn't kick me out of there, because clearly I wasn't buying anything. But they let me try on the bags. I got to touch them. The sales associates there were just so freaking nice. That was my first real introduction into high-end fashion and what kind of inspired me to want to get my hands on these pieces. And so one of my favorite buys was actually buying something from this collection, a vintage piece, right after college or soon after college. And I'll show you that later. But I do want to show you all the other multicolored pieces that I have from Louis Vuitton. I'm only going to really go into like small leather goods because I don't really have any big handbags. I'm not going to go into all the other like twillies and like books and stuff because I have quite a bit of those, but I will show you guys the small leather goods. I'm going to start off with this. Oh, you guys can't see that, can you? Okay. I had to bring my lights down just a little bit so you guys can kind of see this. I'm looking at my monitor. I still don't really think you guys can see just the beauty of this, but this is the makeup pouch from the Esquel collection. I bought this for my birthday for 2020, I believe. So it is 4 going on 5 years old. It is still in perfect condition, at least on the outside. On the inside, I can wipe her down. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure I can wipe her down. Well, she's not too bad on the inside. Yeah, she's not too bad on the inside there. But I love this thing so much. I travel with this piece all the time, but I was really drawn to this piece because, like I said, I'm a lover of anything multicolored. It's just rainbow is always going to catch my attention. And the pastels on this were just too beautiful to pass up. I love the pops of the yellow, the soft pinks, the periwinkle right here. It's just such a beautiful, happy piece. And so I wanted it. And if you read my blog post, you know I got quite a bit from this collection. I also got this perfume travel case as well. And I have to say, this was probably one of my best buys from Louis Vuitton. This was before I feel like the travel cases got to be an insane amount, or maybe they were always an insane amount. But I do like it for when I do travel with my fuller size bottles. This is the City of Stars, which I love that scent so much. I picked that one up for our anniversary, actually. But yeah, so this is what I have from the Esquel collection. Truly, I think one of their better collections in recent times. They also had Spring in the City, which I think was released in 2021 or 2022. This again was another amazing collection. I was able to get my hands on the Murakami set, and there's 3 in the pouch. I love this outside pouch so much, and I use this as like a little clutch all the time. I just got like a little exo cert, I guess you could call it, where I can slip this in there and I can use it as a bag. I do know they have little inserts that you can buy as well, but my fear with the inserts is that it would push up on these corners here and start to wear the bag out. So I did not do that. But oh my goodness, this color was just so beautiful too. I use this a lot, kind of like the catch-all in my purse. And then it's like little nesting dolls. I love it. And then finally this little clutch here that I use to carry my medical cards. So Louis Vuitton has done these multicolored collections ever since the inception of the Murakami collection, but nothing I don't think has been quite as iconic, right? Amongst us fashion lovers, we all love that stuff, right? But I feel like the multicolor collection from 2003 just kind of really stuck with like the fashion lexicon, you know, where people who aren't even really familiar with the brand are very much aware of this collection, or have at least seen pieces of it. It was everywhere in 2003. And I really feel like it was kind of like peak Y2K luxury fashion at the time. So when I told you guys, when I got my hands on these 2 pieces, I was so ecstatic. I kind of have a wish list still going on some of the older pieces, but I'm more focused on other things right now, but I do think I'm more inclined to buy from the vintage pieces than I am the newer pieces, just because I think the vintage is better. So starting off, I have the Wapiti case in Noir, and this has been actually probably one of the most functional pieces I have ever had. I know that Louis Vuitton brought back the Wapiti case for Spring in the City, actually, and they've had a couple collections with the Wapiti case. This was originally part of, I want to say it was part of like their toiletry set that they had. And it was just like the mini version. And I use mine for my point and shoot camera to travel with all the time. It is so nice, but I also use it as kind of like an emergency medical kit. I'll have like all my different pills in here. I'll have Band-Aids, I'll have Bactin, all that kind of stuff, little Vaselines, things like that. And I'll travel with it in here. It is just such a handy size. And then I love that it has like the little wristlet right here, right? This is just such a cute piece. If I partied more, if I had this in college, I definitely probably would have been bringing this to like parties with me or something like that. I don't go to like a lot of parties or anything like that anymore. Certainly parties where I don't need to bring a lot more, but with me. But this is like the perfect grab and go, like little clutch if you just need to carry like, a few basics. And so I was so happy when I saw they brought the Wapiti back in a couple different iterations. And I don't think I saw the Wapiti case with this re-release, which is a little sad because I think this is an amazing piece right here. And I absolutely love it. It's great. Real quick, this isn't multicolor, but I'm showing it to you because they do have it in a multicolor option. And I kind of wish that I had bit the bullet and got it. I might still try to find the vintage one of it, but I also just had it right here because I do use this piece a lot. But the HL Mini is Speedy. This was all over the place in the early 2000s. And they also have it in the Noir and the Blanc color vintage as well. And they also re-released this. And so I'll be talking about the Speedy in particular, or the Mini Speedy, and then also the multicolor Pouchettes a little bit more in depth later on in this video. But I always get so many compliments on this bag. Literally one of my favorites. It's a little smaller than the new Nano Speedies that they have out nowadays, but I do feel like you can fit just about as much. The size, very, very deceiving. I can fit a lot in this bag. Perfect for travel, perfect for days where, I want to carry a little bag, but a little bit more than I could fit inside a walk. I love this bag so much. And then finally, the piece that literally made me cry happy tears, the piece that I had on my mind since I was a small teenager and then ended up getting shortly after college, is this beautiful multicolored Pouchette in Blanc. And it's such a beautiful piece. Obviously, mine's is old and worn because I was coming out of college broke when I bought it. So I did not buy the best condition piece, but I didn't buy this to have like a flashy piece. I bought this to satisfy my inner child and satisfied my inner child was with this piece. The interior, just so gorgeous with this velvety microfiber red. I don't even remember like what this is called. I don't know if this is a suede or microfiber, but it's certainly not the same material that they use nowadays inside of bags. But this piece was so cool. Like, I loved all of the details on the bag, just the studs, the interior. This bag was near and dear to my heart. Like I said, this particular one wasn't in the best condition. That didn't matter to me. I just wanted to have this piece when I was fresh out of college, and it made me happy. And honestly, it hasn't gotten worse since I've got it. I did some cleaning up of it and it hasn't gotten worse, which I think is like the main point, which makes me really happy. So I love all the pieces that I have. Of course, Louis Vuitton is coming out with a new collection, and oh my goodness, I do have my eye on, one thing in particular, the card case. I want that card case so much. And so I do think I'm going to go for it. Hopefully it doesn't sell out before I can get around to getting it. But I do kind of want to talk about price in this collection and just kind of everything that they have in this collection kind of collectively. I don't think that makes sense, but we'll get into that. Because although it's a re-release from the 2000s, it also feels very different to me. It was kind of the same with I don't want to say a re-release of the Marc Jacobs denim collection, but it was very similar to the Marc Jacobs denim collection that they did last spring. So I kind of want to get into that real quick for a moment too. I might pull down the bag for some eye candy because who doesn't love eye candy? Let's talk about this bag in particular for a moment. This, again, is the Pochette Accessoire. I think I called it the multi-pochette, but it's Pochette Accessoire. And very functional bag that I absolutely love using. I bought this for $450, something, in like 2016, 2017, sometime around that time, after me getting out of college, which great price, very expensive coming out of college, but a good price and everything like that. I looked it up. This retailed for about $450 when it was first released in 2003. And the current price that they're going to be selling this for is, I believe, $2,200. I think that's what I saw floating around. And that feels astronomical for what this is, which is essentially an SLG, right? Most of us use it as a bag, just like most of us use the walk as a bag. But essentially, it's a clutch, right? And that's more than I bought any of my Neverfulls for. It feels absurdly expensive for what it is. Now, granted, they did add a chain, and so I added a chain to mine too. This is from the Pochette Felici. So I added a chain to mine too. But a chain just does not feel like it makes this bag worth $2,100. And so I was talking to my husband about it because I'm just like, that just seems like a ridiculous markup. And he did remind me of inflation, it's like what the cost was back then is just not going to be, it might be the same in today's money. So I went ahead and pulled up an inflation calculator because his argument was making some sense to me, right? It's like maybe Louis Vuitton is just keeping pace with inflation. So what these numbers that feel ridiculous to us, maybe when you're comparing apples to apples, they're not that ridiculous, right? Which makes sense with just how crazy inflation has been with everything. So I pulled up the US inflation calculator. They do have a calculator if you would like to compare numbers apples to apples like I do. And no. So the $450 that this originally retailed for back in the early 2000s would have been about $775 rounded upwards today. And so there is now an extreme markup. I switched sides so you can see this a lot better because you don't want to be looking at me, you want to be looking at this. But there is now an extreme markup on this bag. And part of that is due to popularity. You have the influence of social media where everybody wants to get their hands on the newest and greatest luxury goods. For whatever reason, people have a whole bunch of different reasons. And so they have a market to kind of mark things way, way up. But still, that feels like highway robbery to me, especially when you have vintage items that are in much better condition than this one, going for about half the price of the new one. And honestly, if you want a gold chain, you can buy a Pochette Felici chain for $400 to $500. Buy this for, in good condition for around $1,000 to $1,200, and still save a bit of money than buying the new one. I don't think the new ones had the cute red interior as well. I believe it was a brown microfiber. I'll put the picture up. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you'll see it on the picture. But I don't want to say that the bag quality is not the same as the vintage ones. This one, though, again, she's over 20 years old, an officially vintage bag. And besides the leather, she's in really good shape. And so it's like, I'm not sure if those new bags are going to be holding up in this exact same good shape. and I'm paying more. So, you know, a lot of you guys know that I've recently had issues with the last bag that I bought from Louis Vuitton. And so I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little skeptical that it's going to hold up as well as this one has. Again, this is not the multicolor piece, obviously, but they are also selling the vintage Speedy. Now, theirs comes with a little bow on it, which I thought was absolutely darling, a little Vachetta bow. Thought it was absolutely a darling. I just have like an old luggage tag on mine. But again, I believe they're selling these for, I want to say either 21 or 2400. Right now, I'm just trying to remember the exact numbers. I'll put the exact numbers on the screen for you guys. I want to say I bought this for less than 500. I can't remember the exact price, but I bought it for less than 500. And it's, besides like the leather being old, the bag itself, the canvas itself, perfect condition. The bag itself is in perfect condition. And so it behooves me to want to pay, 20, anywhere over $1,000 for something like this. It doesn't necessarily feel worth it to me. But I think that kind of brings us back to what does worth it even mean? That's a very, very personal question. What's worth it to me may not be worth it to someone else, and vice versa. So if you're someone who wasn't able to get your hands on any of the vintage pieces prior, and there's now this opportunity to buy the re-release Murakami collection firsthand, it may be very well worth it for you to buy the newer version versus buying the vintage version, right? If you're someone who doesn't like used goods, I'm showing people wherever their shopping practices or habits are. So if you prefer to buy a new and you have the opportunity to buy the pochette accessoire multicolor and new, then clearly it's going to be worth it to you. So these are my own musings. It's not worth it to me. This is clearly going to be worth it to so many people. And there's no shame in that at all. But for me, it's like a lot of these vintage pieces floating around are in good to excellent condition. They also have some in not so excellent condition that are still going to be pretty usable that you can fix up or send in for repair. And for me, that's an option I'm pretty much always going to go for because I'm just a vintage lover and I'm someone who loves reduce, reuse, recycle, especially when it comes to fashion. By the way, everything I'm wearing right now is thrifted and I think I look good. That said, I think this collection is going to do really well. I think it's going to sell very fast because, like I said, this is nostalgia, especially for some of us older fashion lovers. This brings us back to our childhood. This brings me back to middle school, high school, when I first started getting into fashion. And so I do want to get something from the collection. I already have, like I said, the pochette accessoire multicolor, so I'm not that interested in it. They have some bigger bags, but for me, it's just too much going on to have a multicolor bigger bag. Now, I might, if I see that they have the Noé in the multicolor, I might do that. But other than that, it's a little bit too much, so I don't think I'm going to get that. But what I do have my eye on is a wallet, particularly a card holder. I saw this card holder right here, and I don't have a price on it. My guess is it's probably going to be anywhere from $350 to $450. Which is crazy when you think about it for the price of the card holder. But I think I will try to get that because I feel like that would be a nice little small thing to add for my collection to round out the Murakami collection that I already have. Speaking about Murakami, I do believe he also did the cherries. And I've been looking at that pochette accessoire for such a long time. It's a vintage one. I keep seeing them pop around. I saw the Speedy, someone walking around out in the wild Wild in New York with the Speedy with all the cherries on it. And it just reminded me how much I love that bag. You know, I love cherries in general. So I think I might try to get my hands on that. No promises. I might get it for after my surgery. We will see. But yeah, the collection is coming out. I think it's beautiful, right? I don't think it's as beautiful as the 2003 release, but that's also probably me looking through rose-colored glasses because I don't think you can beat the original Y2K scene. Like, it was wild, it was tacky, it was loud, it was out there, and that was everything we loved about it. I feel like this collection's a little bit more subdued, a little bit more kind of curated, which I think is going to speak to a lot of people nowadays. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I love my loud and tacky at times. And so, yeah, I love the vintage fashion. That's going to be the route I will probably go, but I do want to get a card holder or a wallet. But with that, I want to say, I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday season. I am Christian, and so I am celebrating Christmas as well as Kwanzaa. I feel like I have a lot to be thankful for. All of you guys, you know, both here on YouTube and Instagram, have been so kind, especially on the journey that I'm on. And I love all my luxury stuff, right? But I can't bring this stuff with me, but I can bring the people that I love and I can bring the spirit with me. And so that is just such a wonderful thing to be rich in, which I feel that I've been very blessed to be rich in love and spirit and everything like that. I do want to say that I am getting my surgery in a month. It's a month from today. I'm getting my surgery in a month from today. I'm getting my deep flap surgery, which I keep joking to be a mommy makeover. That's the best way to explain it, where most people can understand what's happening. I currently have metal all throughout my chest. I have not been able to go through a regular TSA checkpoint, which has been kind of ridiculous with the amount of time I've spent in the air this year. And so I'm ready to be able to move around normally. I'm ready to have all this metal out of my body. I know I look very normal from the outside, but you're looking at a bionic woman right now. I have what's called chest expanders to like inflate my chest. They're like breast implants, but like with metal tabs to keep things in place. And with the deep flap surgery, they'll be taking the fat from my belly and knitting it onto my chest so that it will stay. And the results are generally really great. People generally can't tell, you know, that it is your stomach fat and not your breast fat, because I don't have any breasts anymore. But I'm excited for this new chapter. It's going to be a series of several surgeries, you know, the main surgery, which is going to be anywhere from 6 to 10 hours of surgery, and then a series of smaller surgeries of liposuction to get like things like looking normal. But after that, I shouldn't need surgery ever again. Knock on wood. I'm sure there's wood in this chair. I'm gonna hold it like this because it decided to pop off. But I shouldn't need surgery ever again after this. And so I'm hoping that's the case. Knock on wood. And yeah, I know I dealt with a lot of body dysmorphia after the double mastectomy. I went straight from a double mastectomy to getting expanders in, so I never had a time where I didn't, you know, have the illusion of breast at least. But there is still, like, when you get surgery to change your body, it changes you. People don't really talk about that, but it does change you and how you see yourself, because you know yourself. And so when your body is not feeling like your body, it takes you for a whirlwind. And so I'm just mentally preparing myself for all of that right now. But beyond that, My spirit is good. The spirit is strong. Jesus is with me. I am feeling good. I am hoping that you guys are in a good state too. If you are not, because I do know the holidays are a very hard time for a lot of people. I hope that you can at least find some light, and that some light comes for you and good vibes and just good energy comes for you. Comes for you soon. But with that said, I'm going to try to see you guys at least on a New Year's Eve. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, noon, night, whatever time it is you guys are watching this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.